tonight's beer batter, the left fielder, number 37, Ryan Husky. Batting third at shortstop, number 46, Graydon Cashman. Batting fourth, the third baseman, number 17, Will Horner. Batting fifth at second base, number 5, Alex Ramos. Batting sixth in right field, number 9, Joe Carrillo. Batting seventh, the first baseman, number 29, Zach Lemay. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 28, Tyler Fitzgerald. And batting ninth, tonight's pitcher, number 16, Blake Kelly. And now, the starting lineup for your Green Bay Blue Ribbons. Leading off for the Blue Ribbons in center field, number 9, Easton Arnold. Batting second at shortstop, number 24, Dawson Schmidt. Batting third, the second baseman, number 2, Peyton Conley. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, number 17, Brady LaViolet. Batting fifth in right field, number 25, Brian Gerbers. Batting sixth, the catcher, number 32, Ian Salveson. Batting seventh at first base, number 7, James Bornick. Batting eighth in left field, number 19, Wilson Suck. Batting ninth, the third baseman, number 5, Eason Hurd. On the mound for your Blue Ribbons tonight, number 11, Tavian Ramos. The Blue Ribbons are managed by Hayden Price and assisted by Brian Price, Brett Lichten, Liam Jones, and Bill Moore. Fans at this time, we ask that you please stand if you are able. Remove your hat and place your hand over your heart as we honor our country with the playing of our national anthem. Thank you.
All right, Blue Ribbons fans, you know what that means? It's time for Blue Ribbons Baseball. Good evening, fans, and welcome to beautiful and historic Joanne Stadium as the Green Bay Blue Ribbons welcome the Menasha Max. This game a little different from normal, as we will only be playing 7 tonight. Both teams agreed to a 7-inning game. So even though it's not a doubleheader, we'll still be having fun here at the ballpark. Lineup for the Menasha Max. Leading off, Nick Bergen. Batting second, Ryan Husky. Batting third, Graydon Tashner. Batting fourth will be Will Horner. Batting fifth will be Alex Ramos. Batting sixth, Joe Perillo. Batting seventh will be Zach I don't know how to pronounce that last name. Batting 8th will be Tyler Fitzgerald, and rounding out the order will be Hoyt Keller. Defense for the Ribbons. Outfield left to right. In left, Wilson Zuck. Over in center will be Easton Arndt. In right will be Brian Gerbers. At third base will be Eason Hurd. At short, Dawson Schmidt. At second will be Peyton Conley. At first, James Bornick. And behind the dish will be Ian Salveson. On the mound for the Ribbons will be Tavion Ramos. We have seen Ramos earlier this season. He's the hard-throwing righty. And now we just got to see how he'll do here against the Menasha Max. Seeding almost already decided in the Newble. Sheboygan will be your 2025 Newble champs for the regular season. In second is the Green Bay Blue Ribbons. Third, still to be determined. Right now it's a fight between Appleton and Menasha. But we'll have to see how this game ends. And we will also have to keep an eye on Appleton games. But Ribbons secured the number 2 spot. Cannot get knocked out of it. But unfortunately cannot slip into the number 1 spot either. As we're getting ready to begin this game, Nick Bergen will be the batter. First pitch is going to get fouled off. Bergen playing center field for the Menasha Max tonight. Here's the 0-1 from Ramos. Swung on and missed for strike 2. Ramos now stepping on the rubber. Finds his sign. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Popped up, foul and out of play. Count will remain 0-2. Bergen ready in the box. As here comes the 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. They'll have to throw down to first, but they'll get him in plenty of time for out number 1. This will bring up Ryan Husky. Husky is tonight's beer batter. Buy one, get one free PBR if he strikes out. First pitch to him is going to be lined to short. Skips away from the shortstop, Dawson Schmidt, as he'll find himself on first. They're going to call it an E6. And this will bring up Graydon Tashner. Ramos set. First pitch to him is going to be low for ball 1. As we mentioned, the Max have something to play for tonight, trying to get that number 3 seed away from Appleton, as they'll be line foul and out of play. Ribbon season winding down. Pitch was inside. They're not checking the checked swing, so it will go down as a ball. Count is 2-1. Ryan Husky still over at first. Takes a huge lead, as that will find the zone for strike 2. Husky almost started going over there at first, but got cold feet when Ramos kicked his leg. Here's the 2-2. Misses the zone for ball 3. Count now full. Tashner ready in the box. As Ramos comes set, here's the 3-2 pitch. High for ball 4. Tashner will take the free pass down to first base, as this will bring up Will Horner. Horner playing third base tonight for the Menasha Max. Horner ready. First pitch to him is going to be outside for ball 1. Ramos finds his sign, as here's the 1-0 pitch. High and outside for ball 2. Horner now waiting patiently in the box, as here's the 2-0. That will find the zone for a strike. Ramos looking for his sign. Finds the one he wants. As here comes the 2-1. Swung on and missed for strike 2. Count now even. Ramos ready. Here's the pitch. Husky started taking off. Will return. Just tried to throw Ramos off. It worked, as the pitch is a ball. Count now full, 3-2. Here's the full count pitch. Low and away for ball 4. As the bases are now full for the Max. As this will bring up Alex Ramos. Ramos playing second for the Max. Bases loaded, 1 out. First pitch is going to be high for ball 1. Ramos ready on the mound, the 1-0. It's going to be swung on and missed to even the count at 1. As here comes the 1-1. In there for a strike. Count now 1-2. Ribbons trying to get out of this inning with no damage done. An error and 2 walks have loaded the bases for the Max. The 1-2. Foul tip, not able to hold on to it. Salveson not able to get a grip on it. Count will remain 1-2. Both Ramos is ready. The 1-2. High for ball. Ramos trying not to lose the batter here. 2-2, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Strike 3 looking. As now there are 2 down for the right fielder, Joe Perillo.
Now batting right fielder number 9, Joe Perillo.
Perillo stepping into the box. Ramos now 1 out away from getting out of this inning with no damage done. First pitch. It's going to be high and outside. Gets past Salveson. As 1 run will score. Husky coming around to score. That puts Tashner on third and Horner at second. Here's the 1-0. High and outside for ball. Count 2-0. 2 runners in scoring position for the Max. As that'll be swung on and missed for strike 1. Perillo stepping back into the box after he tried to check his swing but was unable to do so. Here's the 2-1 from Ramos. High and outside for ball 3. First base is open for Ramos, but with 2 outs, he's going to be looking to get him here. As here comes the 3-1 pitch to Perillo. High and outside for ball 4. As the bases are loaded once again here in the first. After seeing a lot, Liam Jones coming out to have a chat. Not a common thing for the Ribbons this season, seeing the assistant coach or one of the pitching coaches or any of the coaches at all coming out to have a chat in the first inning. But obviously having a bases loaded situation twice is going to warrant a quick talk. Also looking at the line score. 1 run, no hits. And obviously no errors as they haven't been able to bat yet. There was the error by Salveson to allow Ryan Husky to score. But with that walk being issued, Husky would have scored anyways. So it's still a 1-0 game, 2 outs. Ramos still looking to get out of this jam. As the first pitch to Lemieux will be outside for ball 1. Lemieux was the one that I couldn't read my handwriting on and figure out how to say his name, so he's playing first base tonight for the Max. As here's the 1-0. High for ball 2. Lemieux ready in the box. Here is the 2-0. Way outside, this will get past Salveson. Scoring easily will be Tashner. Both runners will advance 1 base, as it is now 2-0 Menasha. Count also goes 3-0 to Lemieux. Ramos ready on the mound. Here comes the 3-0. Way outside, gets past Salveson again. Scoring will be Horner, as Lemieux will take the free pass down to first base. Perillo now at third, puts runners at the corners with 2 down.
Now batting catcher number 28,
3-0
Tyler Fitzgerald.
ball game. Tyler Fitzgerald, the batter. Fitzgerald, the 8th batter of the inning. Still no hits for the Max, as that pitch will fall in for strike 1. Hoyt Keller, the only batter we have not seen yet for the Max. He is the pitcher for tonight, as Fitzgerald quickly finds himself in an 0-2 count. Ramos now 1 strike away from getting out of this inning. Here comes the 0-2. Fouled off towards the Ribbons dugout. Fitzgerald showing a fight here with two strikes. The pitch from Ramos is going to get grounded right back to him. Throw over to first is in time for out number 3. The Max get 3 across here in the top of the first. As we head to the bottom of the first, it's 3-0 Max. You're watching Blue Ribbons Baseball on the Ribbons Broadcast Network. Bottom of the first here at Joannes Park. Easton Art, Dawson Schmidt, Peyton Conley. Those are your due up for the Green Bay Blue Ribbons. Looking at the rest of their lineup, Brady LaViolette batting 4th. Batting 5th will be Brian Gerbers. Batting 6th, Ian Salveson. Batting 7th, James Bornick. Batting 8th, Wilson Zuck. And rounding out the order will be Eason Hurd. We'll look at the Max defense after this first at-bat. However, we will announce on the mound will be Hoyt Keller. The 1-0 from Keller will be fouled off into the stands. Count is even at 1.
Leading off the Blue Ribbons, number 9, Easton Art.
Aren't been a major part of the lineup this second half. As that pitch will trail outside for ball 2. That pitch will be outside for ball 3. Scoreboard over in right center has been fixed to get rid of wild pitches and pass balls as errors. So now when I read off of it, I'll actually be correct, hopefully, going forward. Count now full to Easton Art. As you may noticed from the stream, Scorebug not in, line score also not working today. As that pitch will be fouled off into the stands. But you know what is working all the time? Cherry Optical Labs. They do a great job helping you see better, look better. Eye exams, glasses, contacts, you name it, they got it. See the difference at Cherry Optical Lab. So that pitch will be low for ball 4. As Art will take the free base down to first. And this will bring up Dawson Schmidt. Schmidt, a late addition for the Ribbons, but has made an impact quick with the team. As Keller comes set, here's the first pitch to Schmidt, as that'll be fouled off. This will give me time to look at the defense. In the left outfield, left to right, Ryan Husky, Nick Bergen in center, and over on right will be Joe Perillo. At third will be Will Horner. At short, Graydon Tashner. At second base will be Alex Ramos. At second, as you just saw him there on the steal, second base, Alex Ramos. And then, of course, first base will be Zach Lemieux. Behind the dish, Tyler Fitzgerald. And as we already announced, on the mound, Hoyt Keller. Count is even at 1 to Schmidt. Here's the pitch. As that'll be lined towards left center. And not able to make it is the center fielder. Rounding third, heading for home. Throw will not be in time to get Arndt. As the Ribbons cutting into the Menasha Max lead. It's now 3-1. A double for Schmidt puts a runner in scoring position for Peyton Conley. Conley playing second base for the Ribbons. Swinging that iconic blue bat. Squares around a bunt. It will go foul. Conley and Willardson being the batters who swung different colored bats. They were both blue, I believe. But it's always nice to see a different colored bat. The 0-1 will hit Conley, as he'll take the trot down to first. Puts runners at first and second for Brady LaViolette.
Now batting the designated hitter, number 17, Brady LaViolette.
LaViolette DHing tonight for the Ribbons. First pitch to him. It's going to be high and in for a ball. Keller ready on the mound, the 1-0. It's going to be high and in again for ball 2. Faking the check to the runner at second, but nobody was on. so he had to hold on to it. Count remains 2-0. Pitch from Keller. Inside and low for ball 3. LaViolette trying to draw a walk here. As that will be ball 4. As LaViolette draws the walk. As we look at Conley over there at second. He's been a ball magnet this season as he was just hit by pitch for the 11th time. Had to quick look that one up. But 11 hit by pitches so far this season for Peyton Conley. But bases are now loaded for Brian Gerbers as he'll swing and miss for strike 1. Gerbers finds himself in more of a power hitter role this season, having, I believe, 4 home runs after having 1 the season prior. Count is even at 1. Here's the pitch. That'll be inside, but in there for a strike. Count is 1-2. Tying run at second base. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Gerbers goes down for the first out of this inning for the Ribbons. As this will bring up Ian Salveson. Salveson, the catcher for the Ribbons tonight. The first pitch to Salveson will find the zone for strike 1. Keller ready on the mound. As here's the 0-1 pitch. Outside, but in the zone for strike 2. Keller finding that outside corner. As here's the 0-2 pitch. As that'll be lined towards center. It is pretty short, but able to make the catch. Not tagging was Schmidt. As it will be a fly out to center, which will bring up James Bornick. Bornick on the cups of history, as he only needs 2 doubles to become the career leader in doubles for the Ribbons. 1 to tie, 2 to have it all by himself. As he'll ground this one back to the pitcher. Not going to happen here, as it will end the inning. But Ribbons do get 1 here in the bottom of the first. It's 3-1 max as we head to the second. You're watching Blue Ribbons Baseball on the Ribbons Broadcast Network. Top of the second here at Joannes Park. Bottom of the order, Hoyt Keller. And then we'll see Nick Bergen and Ryan Husky back at the plate in this inning. Ramos still on the mound for the Ribbons. As he comes set to face the bottom of the order. First pitch is going to be in there for strike one. Keller, we mentioned his name earlier as he is pitching tonight. Max not having a DH, as I'll be in there for strike two. Ramos trying to start hot here, as he'll swing and miss for strike three. As there's now one down for Nick Bergen. Bergen struck out swinging last time he was up. He struck out to begin the game before an error by Schmidt. A few walks, and the rest of the inning was history. This pitch will be high and in for a ball. Bergen ducking to get out of the way. Ramos set. Here's the 1-0. That'll be grounded towards short. Diving attempt by Schmidt, but it will get past him. Bergen has himself a single, as that'll be the Max first hit. But this will bring up the beer batter, Ryan Husky. Buy one, get one free PBR at the concession stand if Husky strikes out. Last time up, he saw one pitch and grounded it to short. Fans hoping that he'll stay a little longer here. First pitch is going to be low in the dirt for ball one. Ramos finds his sign. Here's the 1-0. Outside for a ball. Husky waiting patiently in the box as he awaits his 2-0 pitch. Here it is. As that'll be lined to left, as this will get down for a base hit. Back-to-back singles for the Max. Puts runners at first and second for Traden Tashner. Tashner drew a walk last time he was up. Eventually came around to score. First pitch to him. It's going to be high and in. Salveson keeping in front. Ribbons are getting someone warming up in the arm barn as we speak. The 1-0 from Ramos is going to be high and outside for ball. Tashner, the 12th batter of the game to come to the plate for the Max. Only an inning and a third in. As that'll be swung on and missed at a ball in the dirt. Count goes to 2-1. It looks to be Ian Oki, if I can say his name right, Oki warming up, as that'll be swung on and missed. Count even at 2. But Ian Oki seems to be the pitcher warming up in the arm barn for the Ribbons. The 2-2 will be pop foul and out of play. Count will remain even. As we mentioned, this will be a 7-inning game between the Max and the Ribbons. As here's the 2-2. Pop foul and out of play. Count remains even. Ramos getting his pitches in early. Max fighting at the dish. The 2-2. Outside for ball 3. Count now goes full. Tashner in the box. As here comes the 3-2 pitch from Ramos. As that'll be lined towards center and not able to make the catch. Throw is going to go to third. It's going to be in time to get him. But Nick Bergen coming around to score. As Tashner finds himself at first with a single. As this will bring up Will Horner. Horner so far today drew a walk and eventually came around to score. As that pitch will be in there for a strike. Max currently lead the Ribbons 4-1. Taking back the ones the Ribbons scored in the bottom of the first. That pitch will be low in the dirt for a ball, evening the count. Ramos comes set. Here's the 1-1. That'll be line foul and out of play. Count now goes to 1-2. As now Ramos is trying to get out of this inning with little damage done. The 1-2. Just misses the zone. Ramos couldn't believe it. Thought he had him. Count now even at 2. Here's the pitch. Outside for ball 3. Count now full to Horner. 3-2, 2 outs. Ramos ready. Here's the pitch. Runner taking off as that'll be swung on a miss for strike 3, and the inning is over. Max do respond here in the top of the second. It's 4-1 Max as we head to the bottom of the second. You're watching Blue Ribbons Baseball on the Ribbons Broadcast Network. Wilson, Zuck, Easton Hurd, and then top of the order due up for the Ribbons as they currently find themselves down 4-1 entering the bottom of the second. Zuck playing left field tonight for the Ribbons. As the Ribbons will get through their batting order here in this inning, as first pitch will be high for ball 1. Zuck ready in the box. Here's the 1-0. Popped up towards right center. Long chase for both. And not catching it are the Macs. Right and center field not communicating enough to decide who's going to catch it, as that will go down as a single for Wilson Zuck. It'll also bring up Easton Hurd with a runner on. Keller ready on the mound, as here comes the first pitch to Hurd, as that will find the zone for strike 1. Hurd waiting in the box, as here comes the pitch. So that'll be high for a ball. As here's the 1-1 pitch to Hurd, as that'll be popped up. Keller calling for it, as he'll camp underneath it and make the catch for out number 1. As this will bring up top of the order, Easton Arndt. Arndt drew a walk last time he was up. He's also the only Ribbon to come around and score. Ribbon's hoping he can do it again here and advance Wilson Zuck into scoring position. Zuck taking a pretty decent lead over at first. They're not going to throw over, as the first pitch will be high and outside for ball 1. Arndt worked the count full and had to battle to get that walk from Keller, as that pitch will miss the zone for ball 2. They check Zuck over at first, but he was back in plenty of time. The 2-0 Arndt is going to be high and in for strike. Here's the 2-1. As that pitch will find the zone for strike 2. Count now even. Keller checking the runner again. Back in time. Here's the 2-2. Way outside for ball 3. Catcher Tyler Fitzgerald doing a good job keeping it in front of him. 3-2, 1 out. Here's the pitch, as that'll be lined towards the middle, base hit. Zuck will find himself at second, as he had to wait to make sure that hit fell. As now it's runners at first and second for Dawson Schmidt. Schmidt found a good one last time he was up, had a double, was able to get all the way to third, but was unable to score. First pitch to Schmidt is going to be high and in for a ball. Schmidt ready, as here's the 1-0. As that'll be grounded towards second, could be 2. Steps on the bag, throw to first is going to be in time for the double play, and the inning is over. A 4-3 double play ends the inning as no runs come across for the Ribbons. It's still 4-1 as we head to the third. You're watching Blue Ribbons Baseball on the Ribbons Broadcast Network. Top of the third here at Joannes Park. Alex Ramos, Joe Perillo, and Zach Lemieux. Those are your due up for the Menasha Max. After struggling in the first inning, Ramos really settling in for the second. Still allowed one run, but hoping that he'll lock it in a little bit more here as the pitch will go for ball 2. Ramos at the dish, struck out looking last time he was up. As here's the 2-0. As that will skip in the dirt, get past Salveson. Count quickly goes to 3-0. Ramos ready on the mound. Here's the pitch. So that'll be high and away for ball 4. As Alex Ramos will get the free base. As here comes Hayden Price. As it looks like his night is over. Aoki making his way from the arm barn. As we look at Ramos, 4 runs, 3 hits. He does have an unearned run after the error by Schmidt to allow Ryan Husky to get on. The other 3 will go down as earned runs after 4 walks in the first and then 3 singles in the second. So a 3 earned run night for Ramos. As Ian Aoki will now take over. Aoki has made some appearances for the Ribbons this season. Been fairly hit or miss. Sometimes being lights out, other times giving up a decent amount of walks. Price hoping Aoki can go deep into this game. Currently has a 10.03 ERA for the Ribbons. But as I mentioned, some games he was dynamite and sometimes he was dynamaybe. Price hoping he can be lights out here though, as they currently find themselves down 4-1 here in the third. Aoki still getting his warm-up pitches in. As we talked about at the beginning of the broadcast, Menasha really looking to win this one as they try to secure the third seed away from Appleton in the New Bowl. Ribbons, win, loss, doesn't matter. They will be in the second seed. And will end up with the reserve champion title for the New Bowl in 2025. The league champion for the regular season going to the Sheboygan A's. As Joe Perillo coming to the dish, he'll stare at strike one. Perillo drew a walk last time he was up. Here's the 0-1. Outside. Count now even. Ramos ready. Sorry, not Ramos. Aoki ready. As he'll throw strike two. One and two, nobody out. The pitch to Perillo. As that'll be line base hit into right. Rounding second, but going immediately back will be Ramos. As Perillo finds himself on first with a single. This will bring up Zach Lemieux. Lemieux drew a walk last time he was up. Tavion Ramos still responsible for the runner at second. Aoki ready. Here's the pitch. Skip to the dirt. Salveson can't find it. Throw to third will be not in time. Ball was blocked by the umpire's shoe, as Salveson wasn't able to find it. Both runners will advance one base, as runners are now at second and third with nobody down. Lemieux will swing and miss to even the count at 1. Infield playing in, looking to go home with it, as that'll be swung on and missed for strike two. Ribbons hoping to not allow any runs to score this inning. It'll be a tough task for the Ribbons defense. Lemieux still in a 1-2 count. Aoki ready. Here's the 1-2. Inside for ball 2. Count is even. 2-2 will miss the zone. Aoki was looking for that one, but count goes full. Here comes the 3-2. As that'll be popped towards the left. Underneath it is Hurd as he'll make the catch for out number 1. as this will bring up the catcher, Tyler Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald, so far tonight, grounded back to the pitcher last time he was up. At the time, that was Ramos. Infield still in for the Ribbons, as that pitch will find the zone for strike one. Aoki ready. The pitch. Be swung on a miss for strike two. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Low and away for a ball. Try to get Fitzgerald swinging, but no dice. Count is 1-2. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike three. 2 down now for the Max. Will bring up bottom of the order, Hoyt Keller. Ribbons now returning to normal depth. First pitch to Keller. It's going to be swung on and missed for strike one. Ribbons now 1 out away from getting out of this inning with no damage done, as that'll be fouled into the net. Keller finds himself in an 0-2. Aoki shakes off a sign. Now finds the one he wants. He comes set. The 0-2. High and outside for a ball. One, two, 2 outs. The pitch to Keller. Swung on and missed, strike three, and the inning is over. Ribbons with runners in scoring position are lights out this inning and allow no runs to score. Max still lead 4-1 as we head to the bottom of the third. You're watching Blue Ribbons Baseball on the Ribbons Broadcast Network. Bottom of the third here at Joannes Park. Peyton Conley, Brady LaViolette, Brian Gerbers. Those are your due up for the Green Bay Blue Ribbons. Conley, last time he was up, he was hit by a pitch. That hit by a pitch not just was the 11th this season, but also ties him for second all-time in hit by pitches by the Ribbons, with, I believe it was Ethan Hebetler. Count is 0-1 to Conley. Cross-referenced my media guide, and I am correct. It is Hebetler. Count is 0-2 now to Conley. He is now 3 hit by pitches away from Jake Potasic, who currently leads with 24 in his career. The 0-2. That'll be high and outside for a ball. As here's the 1-2. As that'll be lined towards Liam Jones over there at first base. Able to get out of the way, no harm, no foul. Count is 1-2. Conley waiting as Keller comes set. Here's the 1-2 pitch. High for ball 2. Even count. As here's the pitch. Grounded towards second. Diving, not able to make the stop. Conley finds himself at first with a single. As this will bring up Brady LaViolette.
Now batting number 17, Brady LaViolette.
LaViolette drew a walk last time he was up. Did it on 4 straight pitches. As he most likely will have to battle a little harder here. But he has a runner on first this time around. First pitch to LaViolette. Going is Conley. Throw is going to be not in time. Close play over there. But the field arbiter calling Conley safe. Pitch to LaViolette was a ball. Count is 1-0. Pitch from Keller. It's going to be high for ball 2. Here's the 2-0. High and in. LaViolette able to get out of the way of that one. Currently finds himself in a 3-0 count. We'll see if he has the green light here or if he'll be taking the whole way. LaViolette ready. Here it is. Taking the whole way on that one. As he'll stare at strike 1. Keller ready. Here's the 3-1 pitch. High and in for ball 4. As LaViolette will take the free pass once again. This time putting runners at first and second for Brian Gerbers. Gerbers struck out swinging last time he was up. That started a domino effect for the Ribbons. As Salveson and Bornick would then also get out back to back. First pitch to Gerbers. He's going to miss the zone for a ball. Count is 1-0. Gerbers ready. Here's the pitch. That's going to be high and in. Count quickly 2-0. Gerbers currently represents the tying run against the Max. Still early, as this will be popped up towards first. Giving chase, but not able to get to it, is Zach Lemieux, as it will reach the stands. Count now goes to 2-1. Taking a little extra time here, as Gerbers now steps into the box. Here's the pitch from Keller. As that'll be lined to right center. Nobody's over there. This could be trouble. Off the wall. Rounding third, heading home is going to be Conley. LaViolette also coming around. They both will score easily on the 2-run double from Brian Gerbers. That 2-run double puts the Ribbons within 1. It is 4-3 max. More importantly, though, tying run is in scoring position for Ian Salveson. First pitch to him. Squares around a bunt, pops it over the net. Last time Salveson was up, popped out to center. First base playing in, expecting a bunt again as he'll stare at strike 2. As Lemieux will now back up. Count now 0-2. Salveson looking to defend here. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. As there's now 1 down for James Bornick. As we mentioned in his first at-bat, 1 double away from tying career doubles. The career doubles record. First pitch is going to be in there for a strike. Sam Conley currently holds the record at 36. He passed Griffin Summers earlier this season. Count is even at 1. Pitch to Bornick is going to be low for a ball. Bornick looking for one he can drive here. Currently has a 2-1 count. As here's the pitch from Keller. Foul tip into the glove. Count now even at 2. Bornick ready once again. As here is the pitch. As that'll be fouled off towards the Ribbons dugout. Count even at 2. Bornick stepping into the box. Keller now looking for his sign. He'll agree with the first one Fitzgerald puts down. Here's the pitch. As that'll be grounded towards second. Throw to first will be in time to get Bornick. As there are now 2 down. Moving over to third is Gerbers. As this will bring up Wilson Zuck. Zuck had a single last time he was up. Ribbons hoping for him to do it again. Bring home that tying run. As that'll be lined up the middle. Base hit. Gerbers coming around to score. This game is tied at 4 here in the third. This will bring up bottom of the order, Eason Hurd. Tie ball game here in the third. As we mentioned, it is a 7-inning game tonight. Here's the pitch. As that ball will skip away, not running on the play is Zuck. Hurd last time he was up, he flew out to the pitcher. Keller called for it and was able to make the catch. Here's the 1-0. As that'll be lined towards left, hooking and going foul. Call now even at 1. Hurd now making his way to the box. Keller now ready on the mound. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That'll go behind Hurd. Great job by the catcher, Tyler Fitzgerald, to make sure that didn't go to the backstop. Count is 2-1. Pitch to Hurd. We'll skip in the dirt for ball 3. Hurd looking to reach for the first time tonight. 3-1. And here's the pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 2. Count is now full. Zuck will be on the move on this pitch. Three-two, 2 outs. Keller ready on the mound, and here's the pitch. High for ball 4. No, strike 3 is the call, as Hurd goes down looking to end the inning. Ribbons do tie it up at 4 as we head to the 4th. It's 4-4. You're watching Blue Ribbons Baseball on the Ribbons Broadcast Network. Matthew Eberhardt, the new pitcher on the mound for the Ribbons, as Alki's night is done after just 1 inning, getting the Ribbons out of a tough situation. But Price pulling the plug on Ian Alki. Eberhardt will have to face top of the order Nick Bergen, Ryan Husky, and Graydon Tashner. First pitch is going to be in there for strike 1. Eberhardt, the pitch. In there for strike 2. Bergen so far today struck out swinging in the first, had a single, and came around to score in the second. The 0-2. Strike 3 looking. Eberhardt making quick work of Bergen. as this will bring up the beer batter, Ryan Husky. Husky so far been a little pain in the side for the Ribbons in his first 2 at-bats, reaching on an error in the first and then having a single in the second. First pitch will be swung on a miss for strike 1. Fans haven't gotten buy one, get one free beer yet tonight, as they're hoping to do it here in the 4th inning. The pitch. That'll be line foul and out of play, as this is the first time Husky has had a strike against him, let alone 2 of them. 1 strike away. The pitch from Eberhardt. Strike 3 looking. Buy one, get one free PBR at the concession stand. This will bring up Graydon Tashner. Tashner so far walked in the first, eventually came around to score. He also had a single in the second. As that pitch will be outside for ball 1. Fans not flocking to the concession stand as they typically do, as this will be grounded to short. Throw to first will be in time for out number 3. Eberhardt sends the Max down 1-2-3 here in the 4th. It's still tied at 4 as we head to the bottom of the 4th. You're watching Blue Ribbons Baseball on the Ribbons Broadcast Network. Four as we enter the bottom of the 4th. Easton, Arndt, Dawson Schmidt, Peyton Conley. Those are your due up for the Green Bay Blue Ribbons. Hoyt Keller still on the mound for the Max, as Arndt will take ball 1 here. Here's the pitch from Keller, as that'll be pop foul and out of play. Count will be even at 1. Keller ready. Here's the pitch, as that'll be pop foul and out of play once again. Count is 1-2. Aren't ready in the box. Here's the pitch. That'll be line foul back to the net. Aren't battling at the dish. Keller looking to start the inning off hot for the first time tonight. Here's the pitch. Popped up. Fitzgerald will give chase, but this one will end up in the stands. Count will remain 1-2. Umpire requesting more baseballs, but he'll wait until after this pitch from Hoyt Keller. As that'll be lined to right center, it will stay up enough and not deep enough for Nick Bergen to make the play. As there's now one down for Dawson Schmidt. Schmidt so far today a double in the first and then grounded into a double play to end the second. Umpire not happy with one of the baseballs. Will throw it back to the Ribbons dugout. First pitch to Schmidt. Will be high and in for a ball. Count now 1-0 to Schmidt. Keller looking for his sign. Finds the one he wants. As here's the 1-0. As that'll be lined towards left, a base hit. Schmidt finds himself trotting down to first base as this will bring up Peyton Conley. Conley hit by a pitch in the first, then had a single in the third, and eventually came around to score. Conley ready in the box. Here's his first pitch. Swung on and missed for strike one. Sheboygan currently doing Appleton a favor as Sheboygan leads 5-2. But the Macs need to win this one. 0-1. Be swung on and missed for strike two. Conley ready. Here's the 0-2. Grounded towards the Ribbons dugout. Count will remain 0-2. No WSL action tonight. And as we just mentioned, the only other Newble action, Sheboygan leading 5-2 against Appleton. The pitch to Conley is going to be grounded foul. Conley snapping his big, beautiful blue bat as he'll need a replacement. Looks like Arndt is going to let him borrow his. So count remains 0-2. As here's the pitch from Keller. Swung on and missed, strike three. Conley strikes out swinging to bring up the DH, Brady LaViolette. LaViolette so far tonight walked in the first and then drew a second walk in the third. So he still hasn't recorded a valid at-bat so far. Still 0 for 0. First pitch to LaViolette is going to find the zone for strike one. Count is 0-1. As he'll stare at strike two. LaViolette ready. Keller finds his sign. Here's the 0-2. Low and away for a ball. Schmidt trying to force a throw over at first. Not biting was Keller. The 1-2. Skips in the dirt for ball 2. Count now even. 2-2, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. As that'll be grounded towards short. Throw to first will be in time. Great job by Zach Lemieux to get that ball and, more importantly, get his foot back on the bag in time to get LaViolette. And the inning is over. Still tied at 4 as we head to the 5th. You're watching Blue Ribbons Baseball on the Ribbons Broadcast Network. Top of the 5th here at Joannes Park. Will Horner, Alex Ramos, and Joe Perillo. Those are your due up for the Menasha Max. Still tied at 4 here in the top of the 5th. Eberhardt making quick work last time he was up. Ribbons hoping he can do it again here in the 5th. First pitch to Horner will be in there for a strike. Between Aoki and Eberhardt, last 6 Max were set down in order, as that'll be high and in for a ball. As that pitch will be high and in for ball 2. Eberhardt ready on the mound. Here's the 2-1. Low and in for ball 3. Eberhardt trying not to lose him here. So here's the pitch. As that will miss the zone. Home plate umpire saying it was outside. As Horner reaches, this will bring up Alex Ramos. Ramos so far tonight struck out looking in the 1st and then drew a walk in the 3rd, as that ended the night of Tavion Ramos, for the Ribbons. First pitch to Alex Ramos was fouled out of play for strike 1. As here's the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 2. Eberhardt ready. As he comes set, the 0-2 pitch. As that'll be fouled off towards the Ribbons dugout. Ramos ready at the dish as he awaits his 0-2. Outside for a ball. Eberhardt trying to get him chasing on that one. Here's the 1-2. As that'll be lined up the middle, base hit. Heading to second is Horner. As this will bring up Joe Perillo. Perillo was the first batter Ian Aoki had to face. He singled last time he was up. He drew a walk back in the first inning. So Perillo finds himself on base so far twice tonight. Now has a runner in scoring position here in the top of the fifth. First pitch is going to be popped up towards left. Giving chase is Hurd as he will not be able to make the catch. Count will go to 0-1. Count is 0-1 as Eberhardt's going to step off. We do have players warming up in both arm barns. Not quite able to tell who it was for the Max. But it looks like Liam Jones warming up for the Ribbons. As we get set here once again, Perillo finds himself in an 0-1 count with runners at first and second. Horner at second, Ramos at first. Eberhardt wants to get out of this inning. Here's the 0-1. That'll be fouled off on the check swing. Count now 0-2. Perillo ready in the box. Eberhardt coming set. First pitch is going to be lined foul and out of play as he tried to get to the first out of this inning. Ball bounced off the net all the way into right field. Count still 0-2. Perillo in the box. As he is fighting at the dish. As that pitch will be inside for ball 1. Perillo just battling with Eberhardt. The 1-2 will be grounded. Foul. Count remains 1-2. Both runners returning to their base. Eberhardt set. Here's the pitch. High and outside for ball 2. Four, top of the fifth, nobody out. Runners at first and second. The pitch. High and outside for ball 3. Count is now full. As here comes the full count pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Eberhardt battling with Perillo. Finally gets the strike 3 call, as this will bring up Zach Lemieux. Ribbons now have a chance to get out of this inning with no damage done. Zach Lemieux so far tonight drew a walk in the first and then flew out to third. As that will skip in the dirt for ball one. Ian Salveson doing a great job at keeping that in front of him. Eberhardt ready. The 1-0. As that'll be fouled off. Count now even at 1. Eberhardt set. Here's the pitch. Inside for a ball. 2-1 the count. Zach Lemieux at the dish for the Max. Here's the 2-1 pitch. In there for strike 2. Lemieux in the box. Here's the pitch. As that'll be grounded to short. Over to second for 1. Over to first is stopped by Bornick. Fielder's choice will get Alex Ramos out. As there's now 2 down for Kyle Fitzgerald. (6-4) Fielder's choice as Hayden Price is going to come out. As this will be the night for Eberhardt. Eberhardt was looking a little tired. As his night is over. 2 2/3 innings for Eberhardt. I'm sorry, 1 2/3 innings for Eberhardt. No runs yet. He is responsible for the 2 runners on currently. Those runners being Will Horner at third and Zach Lemieux at first. But making his season debut, Liam Jones. Now, even though it's his season debut, you've heard his name a lot this season as he has been in more of a coaching role this year. But the Ribbons trying to save their main arms as they will have 4 games coming up over the next 2 days. 4 games against Kenosha, as that series will determine seeding in the WSL League. The WSL tournament schedule has already been decided. It will be a round-robin style tournament on Saturday, August. Well, I don't have a decent calendar in front of me. There it is. Saturday, August 2nd. The Ribbons will face off at 11 against the Sheboygan A's. And then I believe they face off again at 7. I do not have the schedule in front of me, but they will face off a second time on Saturday. I believe it's against Kenosha, and then West Allis will be on Sunday, August 3rd. If you're wondering what the schedule will be, you can always look at the WSL website where they currently have it posted. But currently, Ribbons tied at 4 here at Joannes Park, top of the 5th. storyline right now. Liam Jones trying to come in and get out of this inning. Eberhardt doing a lot of work to get to this point so far. But Jones coming in to finish the 5th. He might be here to finish the game, but that will be determined later. First pitch to Tyler Fitzgerald will miss the zone inside for a ball. Jones comes into the game with runners at the corners. Will Horner at third and Zach Lemieux at first. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swung on and missed. Count now even at 1. Jones comes set. Here's the 1-1 pitch. High for ball 2. Count is 2-1. Fitzgerald ready. Here's the pitch. In there for strike 2. Jones now 1 strike away from getting out of this inning with no damage done. But more importantly, keeping the game tied here in the 5th. Here's the pitch. Skips in the dirt. Tried to get Fitzgerald to swing, but no dice. Count now full. Jones is the 3rd pitcher that Fitzgerald has had to face. He faced Ramos in the 1st, Aoki in the 3rd, and now Jones here in the 5th. The 3-2. Misses the zone for ball 4. As that will be the first time Fitzgerald reaches base. As the bases are now loaded for the Max. The good news for the Ribbons, bottom of the order due up. Hoyt Keller. He struck out swinging twice, once in the 2nd and once in the 3rd. As that pitch will miss the zone outside for ball 1. Jones just hoping for an out. Ground out, fly out, strike out. It's all the same here in the top of the 5th here with 2 down. That pitch will find the zone and even the count at 1. Trying to get Keller out before he has to face top of the order, Nick Bergen. The 1-1. Swung on and missed. Finds himself 1 strike away from getting out of this inning once again. Jones comes set. Here's the 1-2 pitch. High for ball 2. Two, 2 outs. Jones shakes a pitch off. Shakes off another. Now finds the one he wants. And here's the pitch. As that'll be lined towards right, giving chase and making the diving attempt, but not able to get it, is Brian Gerbers. 2 runs come in for the Max. Will Horner and Zach Lemieux both cross the plate. It's a 2 RBI double for Hoyt Keller, as it will give Menasha the 6-4 lead. Here in the 5th. Top of the order, Nick Bergen now up, as that'll be grounded foul. Bergen, the 7th batter of the inning for the Max. Jones comes set. Here's the 0-1. In there for strike 2. Both runs will be charged to Eberhardt. As the 0-2 will be lined towards right. Gerber's running back, giving chase, not getting a good jump on it as this will bounce off the wall. 2 runs in as that will be a 2 RBI double for Nick Bergen. Tyler Fitzgerald and Hoyt Keller coming around to score. Both those will be charged to Liam Jones. But as we said, the more important fact, it's now 8-4 Menasha. Jones shaking off some rust as he did not pitch for the Ribbons at all yet this season, and I believe he didn't pitch last season either. But it is now the 8th batter of the inning is Ryan Husky. He's the beer batter. If he strikes out, buy one, get one free PBR at the concession stand through the rest of the 5th inning. The 1-0 will be swung on and missed to even the count at 1. Jones ready on the mound. Here's the 1-1 pitch. As that will miss the zone for ball 2. 2-1, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. That will miss outside for ball 3. Count now goes to 3-1. Graydon Tashner on deck. He would be the 9th batter of the inning for the Max. As here comes the 3-1 from Jones. As that will miss the zone for ball 4. Husky will take the free base down to first. Runners at first and second, 2 down for Graydon Tashner. And as I just mentioned, he is the 9th batter of the inning. This inning started with Eberhardt giving up a walk to Will Horner. As it kind of snowballed from there. A single from Ramos. A strikeout from Perillo. Ribbons tried to turn 2 on Lemieux, but he ended up reaching on a fielder's choice. As this will be lined into right center. Rounding third, heading for home is Bergen, as he will score. As it will be an RBI double for Graydon Tashner. Bergen coming around to score. Husky over to third. And the guy who led this inning off, Will Horner, will bat. No one warming up for the Ribbons, as they will have to stick with Liam Jones. Jones has given up 3 hits. All 3 were doubles. That'll be a ball to Will Horner. Jones has also given up 2 walks, as this will be a grounder towards short. Throw to first will be in time to end the inning. Ribbons finally get out of this inning. A lot of damage done and a lot of ground to make up with not a lot of time left. It's 9-4 as we head to the bottom of the fifth. You're watching Blue Ribbons Baseball on the Ribbons Broadcast Network. Bottom of the fifth here at Joannes Park. Ribbons looking to respond after giving up 5 in the top half of the frame. It is 9-4. Ribbons will send Brian Gerbers, Ian Salveson, and James Bornick to the dish to get things started. Gerbers so far today struck out swinging in the first. Gerbers then had a double in the third and eventually came around to score. Max sent 10 to the dish in the top half of the frame. Ribbons hoping to do the same. That pitch will be outside for ball 1. Ribbons need to respond as there are not a lot of innings left. As a reminder, it is a 7-inning game. As Gerbers will stare at strike 1. As here comes the 1-1 pitch. In there for strike 2. Gerbers in the box. Patiently waiting his 1-2 pitch. And here it is. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Gerbers goes down swinging. As there is now 1 down for Ian Salveson. There is a new pitcher on the mound for the Max. As we mentioned earlier, they did not give me lineups. And they didn't grab substitutes. And 26 was not a person in their order. So don't know who the pitcher is for the Max. We will try to touch base between half innings here. But Salveson quickly stares at ball 1. Here's the pitch. Foul tip into the glove. Count goes to 1-1. Salveson already in the box. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 2. 1-2, 1 out. Salveson trying to get something started here. Here's the pitch. As that'll be grounded foul. One-two count. And here's the pitch. Outside for ball 2. Fitzgerald not keeping it in front of him, but nobody on. So no harm, no foul on that one. Pitcher ready on the mound. And here's the pitch. Inside ball 3. Count now full to Salveson. Still trying to reach base for the first time tonight. 3-2, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Foul tip into the glove. Fitzgerald holding on to that one, as that will be strike 3 swinging for out number 2. We'll bring up James Bornick. Bornick still chasing history for career doubles. He is one behind Sam Conley. He can tie Conley here. First pitch is going to be high, but in the zone for strike 1. Count 0-1. Bornick ready in the box. Here's the pitch. Low for a ball. Count now even. Bornick patiently waiting his 1-1 pitch. Here it is. High fly ball to right. This could be it. It will be caught. Center fielder Nick Bergen able to track it down for out number 3 as the Ribbons go 1-2-3 here in the 5th. Still trail 9-4 as we head to the 6th. You're watching Blue Ribbons Baseball on the Ribbons Broadcast Network. Top of the 6th here at Joannes Park. Alex Ramos, Joe Perillo, and Zach Lemieux. Those are your due up for the Menasha Max. Ramos, so far tonight, struck out looking in the 1st, walked in the 3rd, and then had a single in the 5th. He was a part of the fielder's choice, so he did not come around to score. That fielder's choice allowed Zach Lemieux to reach, as Lemieux would eventually come around to score. Jones still on the mound for the Ribbons, the 1-0. We pop towards right. Gerber is giving chase. He will get underneath it for out number 1. This will bring up Joe Perillo.
Now batting number 9, Joe Perillo.
He drew a walk in the first, and then had a single in the third, struck out swinging in the fifth. Perillo now in the box. Perillo great at battling at the dish so far tonight. Working counts deep. He'll stare at ball 1 here. But he's had two strike counts at one point. A 1-2 count in the third, and a 3-2 count in the fifth before he eventually struck out. But that was a battle, fouling off a ton of pitches against Matthew Eberhardt. Here's the 2-0 from Jones. That will miss the zone for ball 3. Count is 3-0. Pitch to Perillo. Finds the zone for strike 1. Crowd mostly quiet here tonight. Both sides have been fairly streaky, as that will find the zone for strike 2. Max scored 3 in the first. Ribbons responded by scoring 1 of their own. The Max took that 1 run that they just earned off the board. Ribbons weren't able to respond in the bottom of the second, but they were able to respond in the third, as Perillo will draw a walk here, where they scored 3 runs to tie it up at 4. And then, of course, last inning, 5 runs in the top of the 5th is where we find ourselves now with a 9-4 ball game. Perillo draws the walk over at first. Zach Lemieux at the dish. He'll swing and miss for strike 1. Lemieux drew a walk in the first, flew out to third in the third, and then reached on a fielder's choice, which ended the night for Eberhardt. Jones came in, and the rest was history after that. Count is 1-1 to Lemieux right now. Jones ready on the mound, as here's the 1-1 pitch. That'll be low for ball 2. Perillo taking a fairly sized lead over at first. Jones not checking him, as the 2-1 will get grounded back to Jones. Only play is at first. He'll throw it into right field. Perillo will head to third, and he will actually come around to score, as Gerbers has a hard time handling it. Now the throw goes into left. Heading to third will be Lemieux, as 1 run comes around to score. It's 10-4.
Now batting number 28, Tyler Fitzgerald.
Just a tough situation there for the Ribbons. as it's now 10-4 Max. Jones still with one down here in the top of the sixth. First pitch will be low and in for ball one. Tyler Fitzgerald, the batter. He grounded to the pitcher in the first. Struck out Swain in the third. Drew a walk against Jones in the fifth. And is now staring at a 2-0 count here in the sixth. Jones ready on the mound as here's the 2-0. In there for a strike. Fitzgerald now in the box. As here's the 2-1 pitch. As that'll get lined. Bornick caught. Throw to third is not in time. Great heads-up play by Bornick, and more importantly, a good throw by Bornick. As there are now 2 outs. As Alex Windy will now be the batter. He comes in for Hoyt Keller. First pitch will be in there for strike one. As we mentioned, this is Windy's first at-bat. Keller got things started against Jones with a double. As that pitch will be high for ball one. Fitzgerald was able to draw the walk, but Keller really rocketed things forward with that double, which scored Horner and Lemieux. As the count now goes to 1-2. Jones looking to get out of this inning. And here's the pitch. Pop fouling out of play. Count remains 1-2. Windy ready at the dish. And here's the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike three, and the inning is over. Max get one across here in the top of the sixth. It's 10-4 as we head to the bottom of the sixth. You're watching Blue Ribbons Baseball on the Ribbons Broadcast Network. Bottom of the 6th here at Joannes Park. Wilson Zuck, Easton Hurd, and Easton Art. Those are your due up for the Green Bay Blue Ribbons. New pitcher on the mound for the Menasha Max. Zach Lemieux will head to the mound as he relieves Alex Windy, who goes 1 inning. It was a 1-2-3 inning. First pitch from the Lemieux is inside for ball 1. Zuck so far today a single in the 2nd and a single in the 3rd. Has not gotten past second base as that'll be high and outside for ball 2. Here's the pitch. Popped up. Giving chase is the first baseman, Alex Windy, as he'll make the catch for out number 1. This will bring up Easton Hurd. Hurd so far today flew out to the pitcher in the 2nd and then struck out looking in the 3rd. As coming to have a chat is the catcher Tyler Fitzgerald. Sheboygan still helping out the Menasha Max as they are beating Appleton 8-5. They currently find themselves in the bottom of the 9th. So if both scores hold, Menasha will head to the 3rd seed. Lemieux ready on the mound. The pitch. It's going to be low for ball 1. The 1-0 will be lined to right. This will get down for a base hit. Hurd will find himself on first with a single, as this will bring up Easton Art. Art, so far today, drew a walk in the 1st, had a single in the 2nd, and then flew out to center in the 4th. Center fielder Nick Bergen not letting things past him tonight. He was able to track down that well-hit ball from Bornick. Thought I heard the umpire call something, but it will just be labeled a ball. Count is 1-0. The pitch from Lemieux. He's going to check the runner at first. Back in plenty of time is Hurd. Art awaiting his 1-0. Here it is. As that will miss the zone for ball 2. Ribbons are going to try to dent the Menasha lead here. Art squares around a bunt but pulls it back. Don't believe he's actually trying to bunt here, but we'll see what happens. Third base also feels the same way, as they currently are playing at about a normal depth. Art will stare at strike 1. Thought it was ball 4. As here's the 3-1. Swung on and missed for strike 2. Count now full. Art stepping into the box. 3-2, 1 out. Runner at first is Easton Hurd. The pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Got fooled by a ball in the dirt. as there are now 2 down for Dawson Schmidt. Schmidt, so far today, a double in the first, grounded into a double play in the second, then had a single in the fourth. As he'll stare at ball 1 here. Good job from Fitzgerald to keep it in front of him. It does not allow Hurd to head down to second. Hurd does have some speed over there at first. The 1-0 is going to be high and in for ball 2. Count 2-0 to Schmidt. So here's the pitch from Lemieux. As that'll get fouled off. Fitzgerald keeping it in front of him. But the count goes to 2-1. Not a lot of pitches so far tonight getting past Fitzgerald. And for the most part, if they have, it's been in situations where a runner is not on. The 2-1 will miss the zone for ball 3. Lemieux finding himself in a 3-1 count. As here's the pitch. Zelby line fouling out of play. Count now full to Schmidt. 3-2, 2 outs. Max trying to send this to the final frame. Here's the pitch. As that is grounded through the whole base hit. Rounding second, heading for third is Hurd. Throw will not happen as the Ribbons will now have runners at the corners off of the single by Dawson Schmidt. This will bring up Peyton Conley as he's going to use the blue bat once again. Don't know if it's the same blue bat, and it didn't crack as bad as they thought, but I imagine he might just have a second blue bat in his bag. First pitch to Conley is going to be outside, but in the zone for strike 1. Conley was hit by a pitch in the first. He then had a single and came around to score in the third. And then, as we mentioned, had a cracked bat as the ball skips away from Fitzgerald, but not enough for either runner to advance. Count is even at 1. But had a cracked bat, used a replacement bat, and struck out swinging. Here's the 1-1. High and outside for ball 2. If Conley reaches, Brady LaViolette will be the batter. As here's the 2-1. Outside, ball 3. Conley looking to draw a walk here. Ribbons currently down 6. The 3-1. Strike looking. As that will bring the count full. 3-2. 2 outs. Runners at the corners. Dawson Schmidt will be on the move on this pitch. Here it is. Ball 4 as Conley will head down to first base. As the bases are now full of Ribbons. As the Max manager wants to have a chat with the bases loaded. No one warming up in the Max Arm Barn. 10-4 is your score. No one warming up in the Ribbons Arm Barn, so Liam Jones will be the pitcher for the 7th. And as we mentioned, it's a 7-inning game tonight. So Ribbons hoping to cut into the lead here with the bases loaded. First pitch is going to be low for ball 1. Fitzgerald keeping it in front of him once again. The 1-0 from Lemieux will get fouled off. Count now even. Ribbons have had 2 outs since the 3rd batter of the inning, as that pitch will be inside and low for ball. LaViolet is the 6th batter of the inning. Bases loaded, 2 outs, as that will skip in the dirt for ball 3. Ribbons could walk home a run here. Lemieux flattening the dirt a little bit. May have slipped on that last pitch. But 3-1, 2 outs. The pitch, as that will hit LaViolet. The hit by pitch will bring in Eason Hurd. Dawson Schmidt over to 3rd, Conley to 2nd, and LaViolet to 1st. Brings up Brian Gerbers. Gerber struck out swinging in the 1st, then had a double, and eventually came around to score in the 3rd. He then struck out swinging again in the 5th. Pitch from Lemieux will get fouled back to the net. Count is 0-1. Ribbons now down 5, as it is a 10-5 ball game. As here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed for strike 2. Gerber is trying to keep the inning alive for the Ribbons. Also trying to cut the lead down for the Max. Here's the 0-2. As that'll be lined, base hit into center. Rounding 3rd, heading for home is going to be Conley. Throw is not going to come in, as it's a 2-run single for Brian Gerbers. Ribbons fighting back here in the bottom of the 6th. Makes this a 10-7 ball game. It also brings the tying run to the dish. Ian Salveson will represent the tying run. And James Bornick, as long as he bats in this inning, will represent the leading run. First pitch to Salveson is low and away for ball 1. Salveson not having a great night. Flew out to center in the 1st, struck out swinging in the 3rd, and struck out swinging again in the 5th. So that pitch will be high and in, but in the zone for strike 1. Count is even. As here's the 1-1 pitch. As that'll be high for ball 2. Salveson, the 8th batter of the inning for the Ribbons. As here's the 2-1. Popped up towards center. Left fielder calling for it. He'll make the catch for out number 3. and the inning is over. Ribbons do get 3 across here in the bottom of the 6th. It's 10-7 as we head to the final frame. You're watching Blue Ribbons Baseball on the Ribbons Broadcast Network. Top of the 7th here at Joannes Park. Top of the order due up for the Max. Nick Bergen, Ryan Husky, and Graydon Tashner. Those are your due up for the Menasha Max. Liam Jones will finish the game for the Ribbons. First pitch to Bergen. It's going to be high and away for ball 1. Jones ready on the mound as here's the 1-0 pitch. High fly ball to left. Not super deep. Hurd giving chase, but calling for it and making the catch will be the left fielder Wilson Zuck for out number 1. This will bring up Ryan Husky. Not represented as the beer better as it is the final inning. Unless, of course, we go into extras. But Husky made the fans happy just once. It was in the 4th inning. Almost did again in the 5th. As that will miss the zone for ball 1. Jones ready. Here's the 1-0 pitch. As that will miss for ball 2. Husky ready in the box. Here's the 2-0 pitch. As that'll be fouled off back to the net. As a reminder, we have games tomorrow and Sunday as the Green Bay Blue Ribbons take on the Kenosha Kings to round out their season. This is the last game for the Ribbons in the Newble. As that'll be inside for ball 3. But they will round out WSL play this weekend with doubleheaders Saturday and Sunday, both against the Kenosha Kings. The 3-1 will be grounded foul towards the Ribbons dugout. Count now full. Jones looking for his second out. Shakes off a pitch. Now finds the one he wants. The 3-2. Strike 3 looking. As there's now 2 down for Graydon Tashner. As Ryan Husky not happy with the call as he dropped his bat and started heading to first. Tashner so far tonight walked in the first, eventually came around to score. Had a single in the second. Grounded out to short in the fourth, and then had a double in the fifth. First pitch to him will find the zone for strike one. Jones looking to have his first scoreless inning, as the Ribbons could really use it, as they are currently down 3 runs. And will have to score that, as that will be a base hit in the left. Tashner finds himself on first with a single. As I was saying, Ribbons down 10-7. They will need to score 3 in the bottom half of the frame if the score holds. Will Horner, the man who got everything started in the fifth. But in the first, drew a walk, came around to score, struck out swinging in the second. But then in the fifth, drew a walk and eventually come around to score. And then he grounded out to short to end the inning. First pitch to him is a ball. So Will Horner catapulting the end of the night for Eberhardt. The 1-0 is going to be line foul. Count now even. Horner being only pitcher he didn't face was Oki, as that'll be grounded foul. Count now 1-2. Only 2 pitchers have faced all 4 pitchers for the Ribbons, as the 1-2 will skip in the dirt to even the count. That is Joe Perillo and Zach Lemieux. Only pitchers to face Ramos, Oki, Eberhardt, and Jones. 2-2, 2 outs. Jones looking to send this to the bottom half of the inning. The pitch. As that'll get grounded to second. Throw to first will be in time to end the inning. A scoreless inning here in the 7th means the Ribbons have to score 3 in the bottom half of the frame to keep their game alive here. It's 10-7. You're watching Blue Ribbons Baseball on the Ribbons Broadcast Network. Ribbons need 3 here in the bottom of the 7th to keep this game alive. They currently trail 10-7 here in the bottom of the 7th. They'll rely on the bat of James Bornick to get something started here. Bornick, one of 2 ribbons so far not to reach base. The other one being the one that just got out, Ian Salveson. As that pitch will be high and in, but finds the zone for strike 1. Lemieux still on the mound for the Max, as the 0-1 will be high for a ball. Count is even. Lemieux ready. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike. Count is 1-2. Bornick in the box. Lemieux set. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fouled off. Bornick now making his way to the box. As here comes the 1-2 pitch. Skips in the dirt. Count now even at 2. Bornick looking to reach base for the first time tonight. If it's a double, he will tie Sam Conley for career leads. This will be a pop-up towards center. Bergen able to get underneath it for out number 1. As this will bring up Wilson Zuck. Zuck so far today, a single in the 2nd. He singled again in the 3rd. And then in the 6th, flew out to 1st to begin the inning. First pitch to Zuck is going to be grounded towards 3rd. Throw to 1st is going to be wild. Zuck not going to head to 2nd. As that will go down as an E5. First error for the Max brings up Eason Hurd. Hurd so far tonight flew out to the pitcher in the 2nd, struck out looking in the 3rd, and then had a single and eventually came around to score in the 6th. First pitch to Hurd is going to get pop foul and out of play. Count goes to 0-1. Here's the pitch. Skips in the dirt. Fitzgerald keeping it in front of him. Count is even. Lemieux comes set. The 1-1. Skips in the dirt for ball 2. Lemieux now struggling to find the zone. No one warming up in the arm barn for Menasha. This most likely will be Lemieux's game. The 2-1. Skips the dirt for ball 3. Count now 3-1. We'll see if Hurd is swinging away, or if he'll be a little more defensive here, or I mean selective here. The 3-1 will be fouled into the stands. Good pitch from Lemieux. Makes the count full with 1 down. Lemieux comes set. The 3-2 pitch. Grounded towards 3rd. Over to 2nd for 1. Over to 1st is going to be not in time. as Wilson Zuck will be out on the fielder's choice. Ribbons are down to their final out, and it will rely on the bat of Easton Arndt to keep this game alive. Arndt drew a walk in the first, had a single in the second, flew out to center in the fourth, and struck out swinging in the sixth. Ribbons down to their final out, as that will be a high fly ball to left, hooking foul and landing in foul territory. Hurd trotting back to first base. As Arndt slowly makes his way back. Count is 0-1. Arndt now ready in the box. Everyone's set and situated. The 0-1. As that'll be grounded towards short, over to second for one, and the game is over. 10-7 your score, as the Menasha Max will defeat the Ribbons here at Joannes Park. Make sure to join us tomorrow as the Green Bay Blue Ribbons round out the season against the Kenosha Kings on Saturday and Sunday with double headers both days. 4 games in 2 days. Join us here at the ballpark, or as you are currently virtually here on our live stream. And no matter what you do today, do it for the Ribs. Have a good night, everyone.